Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you like to rock?
I would like to rock. I'll get this party started with the 10-minute drill. And by the way, at the end of the segment, Beef, what are we giving away today?
Yeah, we're giving away a selection from the 1010XL Holiday Gift Guide. Check it out at 1010XL.com. Lots of great gift ideas today. At the end of the segment, Danny will give you a number, and we'll take a caller that'll win a $25 gift certificate from Woodcraft and $25 to spend at Tobacco Cove. So stay tuned for that.
I'll start this thing with an answer to a question that probably wouldn't be asked, but I feel like it's something we must discuss. Oh. And that is the trade that is going to happen today with my New York Metropolitans and the Seattle Mariners.
First thing on most people's mind.
I know a lot of people are worried about
the lead.
it. Yeah. And I'm gonna delve into it for just a second. Thank you, friend. I'm just gonna give the GM a shot. Old Brody Van Wagenen, and see what he's able to do. I think we're giving up too much. I'll say that. And we better not be paying all of this Canó's salary. For those who don't know, the Mets are going to get Robbie Canó, but they're also getting Edwin Diaz, who's the best closer in baseball. But closers are fickle, man. They have a great year.
Got to have a good team for them to matter, too.
That's another good point. It's not like are we ready to win? They're all in on winning, obviously, and this is just the start. So he's reshaping the franchise. So that's why I'm willing to, okay, well, what are you going to do with Syndergaard? Who else are you going to get? You know they were going to trade my guy McNeil. I wasn't happy about that. I think he's a young Daniel Murphy. I don't understand, but now they've pulled him out. But they're still trading their 6th overall pick last year, who, yeah, he's only 18 years old, but the kid raked at every stop, and they think he's one of the best hitters in the minor leagues already. And they're also trading another first-rounder in Justin Dunn, a pitcher from Boston College.
They're both going to Seattle?
They're both going to Seattle.
I like that deal from Seattle, to be honest with you.
Along with Jay Bruce and Anthony Swarzak. Those are salary dumps on the Mets' part to even things up a little bit. Robbie Canó probably get 2 good years out of him with the bat. He could probably be a
36
years old. He's hit 300 last year. He did get popped. I don't think he's going to get popped again, but there is a risk.
Popped, Dan, means he failed
80-game suspension for steroids, yeah. So you're getting Canó. You're really getting Diaz, who you control until 2022. But I think they should they're giving up a lot. They're giving up a lot, and I'm going to let the guy go and see what he does. And look, the last couple years it hasn't worked, so I'm okay putting Cano's bat in the lineup and having Diaz as a closer. I just think it's a lot to give up. I don't mind Bruce and Swarzak. Those are pieces you can give away. That's it. Quick Met talk. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's okay. That'll count as
yes.
That would be a relatively big move. If Edwin Diaz pitched for the Red Sox, he'd be a household name. It's just
he was. They say he was the 4th best pitcher in baseball, starter or reliever last year. He had a sub-2 ERA, 57 saves, and he's 24 years old. I mean, that's the piece that they want. But again, then you better be ready to go win if you're going to have a closer like that, because otherwise he's going to have 25 saves and 31 opportunities.
Cowboys last night beat the Saints, and in the process, they emphasized a statistical comparison that I don't think gets emphasized enough.
Okay.
And that is total defense versus scoring defense.
All right.
Total defense is certainly important because it can indicate chewing up clock, gaining. You don't always need to score. Sometimes just controlling the clock and getting first downs is as dangerous to the other team as scoring is.
Right.
But Dallas is just pedestrian when it comes to the amount of yards they give up. They're in the middle of the pack in the NFL. They are. They actually rose up last night to number 5. But when it comes to scoring, they're the 2nd best scoring defense in the league, Dan, at 18.6. You hinted around that's what our Jaguars are supposed to be, but suddenly and completely unexpectedly, when it comes to result, the Dallas Cowboys have become last year's Jags. 2nd in scoring defense. They've got Ezekiel Elliott, ability to run the football. The one thing they have that the Jags didn't is Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper. Are the Cowboys at 7-5 with that win last night, 4 in a row, including the Falcons and the Redskins? Should we start to push them up towards the Rams and Saints?
Start to. Don't all the way. Still a few questions, but they've beaten some good teams here. They were dead in the water. I love what they've done. I give them a lot of credit, man. I'm not a Cowboys guy, but you know what? Maybe they were right. Well, they were. Right now, They were right getting Amari Cooper. He jump-started the franchise. He got him enough offense. He catches footballs and makes plays. I've seen him make plays, and since they got him, they're 4-0. Since they made that trade, it was coming off a bye week. I remember it.
Looks like it's worth a first round.
Yeah, they haven't lost. So right now, you go, hey, winner Dallas. So I'm not ready to, even though they beat the Saints last night, I'm not ready to say, they're the favorites or anything like that. But, you said, should you start to push them up? The answer to that question is yes. You should start to push them up and include them as we get ready for the NFL playoffs.
In an aside to that game, the NFL needs to do something about the review of head-to-head contact, whether the booth itself stops the game and calls it up.
Pittsburgh Walt's crew is missed
I'll give you another one, too. I'll give you another one that needs to now become subject to review, and that's the face mask
Can I ask a
penalty.
question?
Yeah.
Lauren Brooks also.
It's kind of what the 2-minute drill is all about.
This is outside the 10-minute drill box.
Oh.
And I don't mean this disrespectfully at all.
To me?
No, not to you. Has the name Walt disappeared from the American vernacular? Are there any, do you know a 5-year-old Walt? And if you do know a 5-year-old Walt, is that a family name? And I don't mind the name Walt. Walter is a fine name. I have no problem with it.
I don't know anyone under 50.
Are there any Walts out there anymore? Could somebody call in right now?
We had a Walt on a baseball team.
If we have a Walt call in right now, Beef, can we give him the prize pack?
If that's the way you want to play it,
that's how I want to give it to a Walt. If there's a Walt out
under
there,
the age of 30,
you're asking about Walt kids.
Yeah, Walt.
Anybody can lie and say their kid's name is Walt.
Well, that's fine. I don't care.
No. Just Walt. You got to show your.
I like somebody. No, you don't got to show
Yeah,
anything.
you do. When you come pick up the prize, you're showing your ID.
I trust the Googans.
If your name's not Walt, then you're not getting it.
641-1010. But I'm just curious. Do you know anyone named Walt? Yes or no?
Right now, I'd have to think.
Do you know anyone named Walt? Any kid named Walt?
Kid? Absolutely not.
No.
And there was a meme that went around similarly with the name Carl. Said, I've never seen a baby named Carl. It's like they just come out adults.
Well, they do. There are names that disappear. It is weird that you know more Walkers than Walters these days.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, there was no one named Walker.
No.
Yeah. Well, names have gotten all
Well, that's fine. I'm fine with that. I have a Brooks. He's.
I got news for you. There's not a lot. There's not a lot of Jeffs coming down the pike anymore either.
No.
Speaking of crazy names,
how many
stay tuned
little
for the
kids
Tap
do you
5
know
eight.
named Jeff?
Yeah. Now, have you chosen a name for your child,
Jeff?
Not yet.
Is it going to be Daniel?
They don't know if they're having a boy or a girl yet.
They don't.
Daniel or Danielle?
Ironically, it's going to be Walt.
It's who knew?
You should.
There you go.
That'd be awesome.
Girl
Name
or
your
boy.
kid Walt.
Yeah, I would
Either
like
way.
that. Yeah. Boy or girl, just name.
We're getting some people
We got the
calling in.
Walt's all blowing it
All
up.
the
there's a lot of
Waltz.
Waltz.
Here they come.
Name it.
I just was thinking about that, because Pittsburgh Walt I don't like, and this is nothing again against the name, and Buffalo Walt made me mad too. I think they're the same guy, but they're not. They're Anderson and Coleman, the referees, but I can't stand either of them.
I have my eyes
Those
closed.
are more likely to be names nowadays. Anderson and Coleman. Than Walt.
Yes, you're right.
The first
Coleman.
The first time that I was paying attention in Walt Anderson, last night's official.
Yes.
I was already had my eyes closed and was kind of laying down. I just heard him, and I was thinking to myself, I thought it was Walt. I thought it was our Walt.
Yeah,
I have one.
Our Walt was 2 weeks ago. All right, here's my question to you, Jeff Prosser.
Yeah.
You're not a huge. You don't follow.
The hell I'm not.
High school football like you used to. So I'll ask you this question.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, Dan,
Yes,
but
please.
I just want to shout out our prize pack winner, Vicky. It's not her kid, but her I think she said her sister has a 1-year-old baby son.
Little Walt.
Call him Walt.
Is it a family
Little
name?
Walt.
Did you ask if you didn't ask if it was a family name?
I don't care.
It doesn't matter. Walt's got to survive one way or the
But
other.
that's good. Little Walt
right, back
is
to
out there and well. So
to the
you
question.
can go to one game tonight, Jeff Prosser. I'm just curious. I'm going to throw here are 3 games. You
Okay.
can go to Reigns
and I
watch,
am, by the way. I do keep up.
You can go to Reigns.
Understand who's
So slander.
You can go to Reigns and watch the Vikings. You can go to Trinity Christian and watch the Conquerors. You can go to Mandarin and watch the Mustangs. They're all playing basically state semifinals games. Which one are you going to?
Is there one that's playing like the number 1 team in the state, or is there one that has a higher ranked matchup than the other?
Well, I would say that.
My answer is
No, there's no number 1 powerhouse.
My
coming to
answer
town.
would be number 3 on the power poll, but because I was, lived in Mandarin, and Mandarin has been out of the
I don't
opportunity.
necessarily think that's number 3 on the power poll. Mandarin.
I would tell Mandarin only because,
because Reigns and Trinity are there every year.
They won. Yeah, they won last year. Reigns did.
Yeah, and Trinity will win this year, and they won
four
or 5 in a row before that. Trinity is.
So I would go to Mandarin.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Mandarin is 8A too, which is interesting, and they're taking on Sarasota Riverview. tonight. I was just curious. I mean, we'll have coverage on all three. And by the way, the radio station's covering both games tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony and Hacker
Two of the
are
games.
calling the Reigns game, and then that'll be on the FM.
Yes.
And Mandarin, or do I have it wrong? Mandarin's on the FM, Reigns on the
You
AM.
can find them both on either the FM or the AM.
Gibby and Denny are doing one. And
Yeah,
Hacker
Andrew,
and
and Denny are
and
on
Tony are
Mandarin
doing
on
it.
the FM.
That's good. That's awesome.
Tony and
That's
Hacker, Reigns on the
good
AM.
for the station for
Yes.
getting out and providing that. If I'm out and about, I'll listen. Mandarin
I'm a
also,
sausage
in
guy.
irony, ironically,
yes,
the first game when I first came to Jacksonville.
Waltz Auto Parts.
Yeah, that's true.
It died with the Waltz Auto Parts.
But when I first came to Jacksonville, I interned with Dan many moons ago in like
You did.
1991, and by the
That
time
is adorable.
Put him under my wing.
years and years ago,
Hugged his neck.
1991, I was 24.
What we used to do is
Dan
just
wasn't
play,
even 30.
we
That's
used to
how long ago it
We used
was.
to just play
Wow.
Nerf hoops
Yeah,
together.
all the time. We had a great time.
Don't tell anyone
Yeah.
what I do around
I
here.
to this day, in any level of the broadcasting industry, remain the best intern ever. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, for the history of Earth. But what Mandarin, back to Mandarin. But when I left, I took a paying job at what was at the time Channel 17 in this very building,
Yes.
and the newsroom was back there. And to make a long story longer, the first high school game that I
Was?
went and covered was a Mandarin game.
With a quarterback named Walt.
Because
Who
I
knew?
I
It
don't
was
know
crazy.
about Walt, but I remember Mandarin because they played the they do the Michigan thing, don't they? Like the Michigan fight song. I think they do, or they did at that time. I don't
Yeah.
know if they do anymore, but
Yeah.
they did at that time. I have one more question for you here
Yes.
as we conclude the 10-minute drill, and then we're back with the award-winning, money-making Friday 5-pack.
Rim shaking, earth shattering, hands quaking,
yeah, you
Friday
bet.
5-pack.
All right.
Ow!
So somebody, a Texans fan,
Yes.
tweets a video of Aaron Colvin dancing on the sideline with Watson, and he
Yes.
captioned it, when you go from playing with Bortles to going to playing with Deshaun Watson,
Oh.
which in and of itself is a cheap shot that fans take.
Yeah.
Watson quote tweeted it with a crying, laughing face and tagged Aaron Colvin. Is Deshaun Watson out of bounds there?
The only reason I knew about this is because my son Drew put it on his Twitter, and he sent a tweet to Aaron Colvin, "Don't you do it, Aaron." So, is he out of bounds? No, to the victors go the spoils. What can we do, man? We were so good last year and fun and high and mighty and deservedly so. And we own the South,
and we ran it,
and we should have, and they can run it this year. They've won 8 in a row. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not looking for any sympathy from anybody in the South. I don't want any.
You
go
don't
ahead, have
typically
at it, enjoy it.
You don't typically see one
No.
quarterback or other positions you do. I don't know if I've
No.
heard a quarterback call out a quarterback.
And he didn't really call him out. He just retweeted it. So I think that's
threw dirt on it at least.
maybe a little dirt. Maybe.
By the way, I've gotten confirmation on the Michigan fight song.
Yes,
right?
they did.
They do that at Mandarin, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
There we go.
And they'll be doing it tonight.
Again,
loud and proud.
Just weaving our perspective through the fabric of Jacksonville sports. This is the drill.
Fight on Mustangs, let's go Mandarin. We're gonna win because we're from Mandarin.
No, that's not it at all.
Hail to the Mustangs, yes sir, hail to the Mustangs. So proud, orange and green, here we go.
You missed your calling in the music industry.
That was great.
Both as a lyricist and a singer. This is the drill. The Friday 5-pack is next. It's an all-American roll-off and recycling Friday.